Best credit cards for beginners. Easy approval plus build credit fast. Before we dive in, some ads may appear during the video. Your support allows this channel to keep sharing valuable information for free. Now let's dive in. Most people treat beginning credit like it is a high school assignment. Get a card, pay the bill, move on. That is not what we are doing here. If you are starting from zero, whether you just relocated internationally, you are building a brand new business entity, or you are setting up a young adult in your family with a real financial foundation, this video is going to give you the institutional roadmap that most people never get unless they are paying a wealth advisory firm to walk them through it. What I am sharing today is the credit file architecture framework that underpins every serious borrowing relationship you will ever have: mortgage approvals, business credit lines, commercial real estate financing. All of it traces back to decisions made in the very first 6 to 12 months of credit history construction. Here is exactly what you will walk away with: the 5 specific beginner cards that actually serve a strategic function, not just a convenience. You will understand why the sequencing of these cards matters more than the cards themselves. You will see how to use utilization ratios as an active lever, not a passive afterthought. You will learn how the secured card graduation mechanism works, and why it is one of the most underutilized tools in personal credit architecture. And you will understand how to future-proof this foundation so that when you are ready to access institutional-grade credit, business lines, commercial mortgages, high-limit revolving instruments, the file you built as a beginner is already speaking the language lenders want to hear. Pause this video, open your notes application, and treat what follows as a consultation, because this is the same sequencing logic that private credit advisors charge to diagram. Before we get to the specific cards, let me establish something that most beginner credit content completely skips. Your credit file is not a score. It is a liability profile, a structured record of how you manage financial obligations over time. Every lender, every underwriter, every commercial bank uses that profile to make a probabilistic determination about future behavior. That means the decisions you make in the first 12 months of credit history carry disproportionate weight, because they establish the baseline behavioral pattern that all future data is compared against. There are 3 structural variables that matter most in the early phase: the age of your oldest account, your utilization ratio across all revolving instruments, and your payment history consistency. Miss any one of these in the foundation stage, and you will spend the next 2 to 3 years correcting it rather than building on it. That is the institutional framing. Now, let us get into the specific instruments. The first card in any serious beginner architecture is the Discover It Secured. The reason this card leads the foundation layer is not because Discover is the largest issuer. It is because of a specific structural feature that almost no other secured product offers at this entry tier: automatic account review at 7 months. Discover will review your account at the 7-month mark and, for cardholders who have managed utilization and payment timing correctly, will graduate the account to an unsecured line and return the security deposit. That graduation event matters far beyond the deposit return. It signals to the broader credit ecosystem that a lender voluntarily extended unsecured credit, which carries meaningful weight in underwriting algorithms. Additionally, the Discover It Secured cashback match mechanism, where Discover matches all the cashback earned in the first year dollar for dollar, functions as a cost basis reduction on your effective cost of credit during the building phase. You are not just building a credit file, you are generating a small but real return on the capital you have deposited. For a $500 secured deposit earning 2% on gas, and 1% on everything else. That first-year match translates to a measurable reduction in the opportunity cost of that capital being held as collateral. This is the kind of analysis that rarely appears in beginner credit content, but it is exactly the kind of thinking that separates strategic credit construction from casual card use. The second instrument in the beginner architecture is the Capital One Platinum. No annual fee, no reward structure, and that is precisely why it belongs here. The Capital One Platinum is a utilization ratio management tool, full stop. When you are building a credit file from scratch, one of the fastest ways to depress your score is allowing a single card to carry a balance that represents more than 20 to 25% of its credit limit. The Capital One Platinum gives you a second revolving line to distribute any balance across, which mechanically lowers your per-card utilization without requiring you to pay down additional debt. This is not a convenience card. It is a structural diversification instrument for your liability profile. Capital One also has a defined upgrade track for the Platinum, typically at 6 months, moving eligible cardholders to the Capital One Quicksilver, which introduces a 1.5% flat cashback structure. That upgrade path means you are not stuck in a zero-reward instrument permanently. The Platinum serves its structural function during the foundation phase and then transitions you into a cost-basis reduction vehicle once the file is established. Once the foundation layer is in place, ideally after 6 months of clean payment history and consistent utilization discipline, the third instrument to introduce is the Chase Freedom Rise. This card is significant for a strategic reason that extends beyond its 1.5% flat cashback. It is Chase's designated entry point into their broader credit ecosystem. Chase operates what is widely understood in the advisory space as a velocity-based relationship model. The longer and cleaner your history with Chase, the more aggressively they will extend credit as you move up their product ladder toward instruments like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or eventually the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The Chase Freedom Rise strategy is not about the rewards on this particular card. The credit velocity compounding effect here is that you are establishing a Chase relationship at the beginning of your credit history, which means that by the time your file is 24 to 36 months seasoned and you are ready to access a premium travel card or a high-limit cash back instrument, Chase already has a behavioral track record on file. That relationship tenure is a compounding asset. You are not just building a credit score, you are building institutional relationships with specific lenders, which is an entirely different and far more valuable strategic objective. The fourth card addresses a specific structural gap that traditional credit issuers have historically ignored. The Pedal 2 Visa uses what WebBank calls cash flow underwriting, meaning it evaluates your banking transaction history, income consistency, and spending patterns in addition to your traditional credit file. The cash flow signaling mechanism built into the Pedal 2 approval process is particularly relevant for two profiles: individuals who have strong income but a thin credit file due to relocation, and young adults or business principals who have legitimate cash flow but have not yet established a traditional borrowing history. The Pedal 2 offers up to 1.5% cash back, scaling to 1.5% for on-time payments, with no annual fee and no foreign transaction fees on certain transactions. But the institutional reason to include the Pedal 2 in a beginner architecture is not the reward rate. It is the fact that it diversifies your approval pathway away from pure credit file dependence. As a beginner, having at least one instrument that evaluates your financial behavior holistically, not just through the narrow lens of a FICO score, reduces your vulnerability to the thin file penalty that traditional underwriters apply in the early months. The fifth card in the strategic beginner sequence is the Capital One Quicksilver One. This card sits in an interesting position because it carries a $39 annual fee, which at first glance seems inconsistent with a beginner architecture focused on capital efficiency. But the Quicksilver One provides 1.5% unlimited cash back on every purchase, which means a cardholder spending approximately $2,600 annually breaks even on the annual fee purely through cash back. Above that threshold, every dollar of spending generates net positive cost basis reduction against purchases you were already going to make. The deeper strategic value of the Capital One Quicksilver One is its position within the Capital One upgrade path. Cardholders who demonstrate consistent payment behavior are periodically reviewed for upgrade to the Capital One Quicksilver. No annual fee, same reward rate, which effectively converts the $39 cost into a zero-cost instrument over time. For an executive or business owner managing a separate personal credit file alongside a business entity, this upgrade mechanic matters because it keeps your personal revolving instruments progressing in credit limit and feature set without requiring you to apply for new accounts, which would generate hard inquiries. Now that we have the 5 instruments defined, let us talk about how they function together. The utilization ratio architecture principle is this. Across all 5 cards, you want your aggregate reported utilization, meaning the balance reported to the bureaus on your statement closing date, to remain below 15%. Not the balance at payment time. The balance at statement close, because that is the number that gets transmitted to the credit bureaus and incorporated into your score. If you are carrying a $200 balance on a card with a $1,000 limit, you are reporting 20% utilization on that instrument, even if you pay it in full the next day. Timing your payments to fall before your statement closes, not just before the due date, is one of the highest leverage mechanical adjustments a beginner can make. The score threshold ladder that structures a beginner's progression typically looks like this. 6 months of clean history will generally move a starting score into the 640 to 660 range, assuming utilization is managed correctly. 12 months of consistent behavior with 3 to 4 accounts reporting can push that into the 680 to 700 range. At 24 months, a well-managed file with a mix of account types frequently reaches the 720 to 740 tier, the threshold where most premium card issuers begin competitive approval offers without manual review requirements. Consult with a qualified credit professional for guidance specific to your situation, as individual results will vary based on factors in your unique file. The graduation trigger framework applies specifically to secured instruments like the Discover It Secured. Graduation, the issuer's decision to return your deposit and convert the account to unsecured status, is triggered by 3 primary variables: payment history consistency, utilization behavior, and account age relative to the issuer's internal review cycle. What most beginners miss is that the graduation event is not automatic. It typically requires a clean 7 to 12 month track record and often benefits from an explicit request from the cardholder to the issuer's credit review department. Proactively initiating that conversation signals creditworthiness in a way that passive waiting does not. A critical note for business owners in this audience. The entity credit separation principle means that your personal beginner credit architecture and your business credit profile should be treated as entirely distinct constructs. Personal credit cards, even those used for business purchases, report to your personal credit bureaus and affect your personal FICO score. Business credit instruments that report only to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, or Equifax Business, build a separate commercial credit profile under your EIN. Building both simultaneously, even at the beginner stage, creates the liability architecture separation that commercial lenders require before extending unsecured business credit lines. The 5 cards we discussed today belong in your personal architecture. As your entity matures, you will layer a separate business file on top of it. Before we end, let me summarize the most critical information from this entire analysis. First, the Discover It Secured is your foundation layer. Prioritize it for the 7-month graduation mechanism and the first-year cashback match that reduces your effective cost of capital during the secured phase. Second, the Capital One Platinum is a utilization ratio management instrument, not a rewards product. Its value is structural, distributing balances across multiple lines to keep per-card utilization disciplined during the foundation stage. Third, the Chase Freedom Rise is a relationship investment in Chase's credit ecosystem, and the velocity compounding effect of that early relationship will materialize in premium card approvals 24 to 36 months from now. Fourth, the Pedal 2 Visa provides income-based underwriting diversification, critical for thin-file applicants who have strong cash flow but limited traditional credit history. Fifth, aggregate utilization must be managed at the statement close date, not the payment due date. This single timing adjustment is the highest leverage mechanical change a beginner can implement immediately. Sixth, entity credit separation is non-negotiable for business owners. Personal and commercial credit architectures must be built in parallel, not sequentially. The beginner credit roadmap is not complicated, but it is sequential. Month 1, secure the Discover It Secured and the Capital One Platinum simultaneously. 2 accounts, 2 bureau reports, 2 utilization lines from day 1. Month 6 to 7, introduce the Chase Freedom Rise once the foundation accounts have seasoned. Month 8 to 10, evaluate the Pedal 2 Visa if your income documentation strengthens the approval case or if the traditional file remains thin. Month 12 and beyond, assess the Capital One Quicksilver One based on your annual spending volume to determine whether the $39 fee crosses the cost basis break-even threshold. Follow this sequence with utilization discipline and consistent payment timing before the statement close date every month, and the file you will have at 24 months will be indistinguishable from someone who has been building credit for a decade. That is the institutional outcome. That is what this architecture is designed to produce. Please subscribe for more free institutional-grade analysis and credit card strategy that you will not find anywhere else on YouTube. Please click the thumbs up button to like if this video has delivered value, and comment below with your questions or future content requests. I read them all, and they shape the direction of this channel. Disclaimer: I am not your financial advisor. This content is for educational purposes only. Consult with qualified professionals before making any financial decisions.